I'm just gonna say it. This semester sucked. This being a third year, um, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm an architecture major, and this year has probably been one of the worst experiences that I've encountered being a student. You know, and I like to say that it started throughout the beginning of the year, but honestly, the beginning semester or the fall semester was probably one of the best experiences that I've had. The professors were nice. I learned quite a lot, and I don't know, something about this semester was just quite the opposite. Don't get me wrong, I think I learned quite a bit of stuff, but it took a lot. I'm talking mentally, physically, financially. It took a lot out of me, and it sucked. I like to say that, I don't know, it's just it really sucked. I've never felt so drained, so burnt out, so alone. I I say alone as in like I didn't have anyone much to talk to about this, you know? Don't get me wrong, my peers have probably faced the same, but this was different, you know? I think it started in January. It was like the first week I met my professor, who I was warned about, by the way. Every time I mentioned his name, I'm not gonna say his name, but every time I mentioned his name, people are like, "Oh shit, oh shit, good luck, good luck." I hear he's tough. Oh great, thanks. Guess I'll see. But the first week I met him, he was an okay guy. You know, he was chill, I guess. But then I got sick. I got sick, and I missed about maybe a week or a week and a half of school. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but I am a dual major. I was a dual major. I dual majored in business. Um, but yeah, I missed about a week and a half, and then I immediately got behind, which honestly I was expecting. And usually I never let my sickness kind of slow me down. I don't know. I guess being raised in a Mexican household, you're kind of like trained to get shit done. That type of mentality. So I never really let it stop me, and I was actually caught up. I got caught up, and I was ahead of the class with assignments because I didn't know anybody at the time. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just stick to the rubric. Come to find out, apparently my professor doesn't like looking at the rubric, and usually it's encouraged for us to break or bend the rules a little bit to an extent. If you can back it up, then go. Because obviously then architecture does not limit creativity. But for some reason, my professor had some other plans. And it's been a constant problem, not only for me, but for my peers too. Because we're put in like different studios where every studio is dealing with the same concept, but depending on who your professor is, kind of shapes on how you work those concepts. If that makes any sense. So throughout the semester, I've had a sense of imposter syndrome. Where I'm looking at other people's work, I'm like, damn, that's so good. I wish I could do that, but I can't because apparently my professor doesn't like that. Usually, what we learned this semester was pretty much facade based. How to make the buildings look pretty, what makes them stand out, what's their purpose, what is the intention, you know? And usually we stick to the facts. The facts and reality that, hey, as much as we want to make this building look good, how can we make it look good? Why? We need to add some realism to this building. My professor did it. I don't think he got the memo on that part, because most of the semester it was very art based. I think I can make a separate video just on this professor. I'm not gonna lie, because we've had problems with it so bad that my peers and I kind of I don't know, we were in a very rebellious stage, and it led to a lot of problems. But I'm not gonna get into that. The point is that we were supposed to stick with the rubric, have some sort of structure, have some sort of idea for that. But my professor is, I guess you could say, very art based. He had us do a bunch of research on artists instead, kind of gain a sort of knowledge and methods of our studied artist. And instead of sticking with the rubric, doing one assignment and then moving on, he had us do iterations that had wasted our time. I could see how it was frustrating because I'm over here moving on and he's telling me to do it again for a constant maybe 2 weeks, to the point where I lost my, I guess, my momentum with my other classes. I was prioritizing my studio more than my other courses. Don't get me wrong, my studio is probably the most credited hours, but it's that part of me where I couldn't fail that that really got questioned throughout the semester. I I kind of lost myself in a bit. Um, I lost time. I couldn't sleep. I started skipping classes just for this class, and it sucked mentally, physically, financially. It sucked. And you might be wondering, oh, you could have reported him. Yeah, honestly, I could have. I did in the end, but I think I should have done it sooner. Another thing was kind of his behavior towards us. Just didn't make any sense. I don't know. It got led to different problems that me and my peers kind of had to deal with on our own. It is crazy because usually we'd be like, "Oh, talk to your professor." No, the professor's a problem actually. So it's just insane, and this semester sucked. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but if you're watching this, I just finished my last final. I think I did pretty okay, by the way. I'm getting sidetracked, but I had to say something, and it might be stupid for me to post it online. It honestly is, but I had to talk to someone because lately I've been feeling so, I guess, alone, and the only thing or some other things keeping me afloat was recording when I had the free time, making videos, playing the games, because it's my only way of coping. But I don't know. Towards the mid semester, like midterms, I started failing some of my business classes, which is crazy because usually there's a stereotype with business majors. They're like, oh, this shit's easy. At first, it was. I'm not gonna lie. There are courses that are for sure hella easy, easy 100, but this one was different. I think this one was the reality of it. But I failed the course. I was in the middle of my midterm. I'm like, hey, I don't think I'm gonna pass this class. I didn't study enough for it, and it's kind of my fault for not balancing the two. But I had to talk to my advisor. She didn't recommend me this, but she was kind of giving me some perspective. Like, hey, I'm not telling you to do this, but there's a couple options where you could drop the course, um, and it won't affect your GPA and it won't affect your transcript. And I thought about it. I'm like, ugh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I could, you know. and she gave me more options where I had to drop um, the double major and pursue graduating, just because if I were to retake the class, I would have been extended another semester or possible year to graduate with both my architecture and business degree. I honestly cannot wait that long. It kind of sucks, the idea of watching your peers that you've supported and struggled with all 4 years kind of move on, you know. And this is just for the matter of me graduating on time. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. But it led to me having to have a talk with my parents about it. Don't get me wrong, my parents were supportive, surprisingly supportive about it. Um, but yeah, I had to deal with that, and I was so happy that I got rid of that. But after that, I just had to deal with that one studio class, and it sucked all semester. It sucked. I was broke for a time. There wasn't much I could do other than do what I knew best, and it was on the computer. Honestly, think I couldn't have survived without Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop or any of the other Adobe programs, which I'm so glad. It's not a sponsor, but I'm so glad that I got to deal with it. But but yeah, I don't know. It's just my social life hasn't been as it used to be. I guess that's a way to say it. I used to hang out like once or twice every few weeks with my friends, and I lately haven't seen them. My social life has never been any lower. I don't go out. I can't go out or risk losing going out. I haven't been sleeping as good. Relationships have been questionable. Free time is was at an all-time low, but I don't know, it's just the idea of me overcoming something like this has been that motivation for me to continue going on. I've dealt through some shit, but man, this one just tops the cake. And the idea or the fact knowing that I've overcome this semester, it makes me think, hey, there's honestly nothing else. Nothing else that can hold me back to pursuing what I want to do, but or the dreams that I want to achieve. But it's who I am. I don't know. I'm getting sorry. I was getting a little emotional, but I don't know. My sanity is just was really questionable, and the stereotypes have never felt more relatable than I realized. I'm okay now. I will be moving back home for the summer tomorrow. I just wanted to make this video for today. I'll probably finish the gaming clip. I did finish this house, by the way. Originally, this game was supposed to be a funny moment type of game, but I figured it's something you guys could watch. I probably won't finish because this clip sped up is 24 minutes and I'm on the 14-minute mark. But yeah, it sucked. It made me really, really think about, hey, what's important and what's not, what's worth it and what's not. But I'm fine. I'll be okay. Projects were completed. Maybe not to my satisfactory, but they were completed. Finals, I did my best, studied hard, hopefully passed, which I think I did. But it's just one more year. One more year. Then get to hold diploma and say fuck you to all the people who thought I couldn't. Besides, I've made it this long, you know? I've made it this long, and I have not let anything else get in my way. That being said, I think I'm gonna end it off here. Just wanted a simple rant for you guys. But yeah, if you guys like this type of content, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I made a playlist, couple playlists. I just started the Batman, Telltale's Batman, which is super fun. We'll be making clips out of that soon. What else? What else? What else? I finished The Wolf Among Us. Amazing game. Made a full playlist for you guys to binge. I have a storytime playlist. Gonna add this to that one later. And more videos will be made soon. Don't know how much I'll be making throughout the summer, because so far I've made some pre-recordings to kind of keep myself a little busy. But I guess we'll find out. Alright. Yeah, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.